You probably think of chickens crammed in cages. In 2023, 34.4 billion chickens, according to the Food and Agricultural Organization, no bigger than an A4 sheet of paper, may seem like a utopian fantasy, were raised globally. Most of the chickens are forced to lay up to 300 per year in these harsh conditions. A world where chickens roam freely, living in harmony with nature, has been in operation for many years. In Yangshan, Guangdong Province, mountainous regions, a unique method of raising chickens, but it's a reality in parts of China. Among the various free-range breeds thriving in Yangshan, featuring a blend of 3 shades of yellow thanks to their organic corn diet, Yangshan chickens are muscular and easily distinguishable by their distinctive plumage. They reach maturity after 4 to 5 months of roaming the hills. The Yangshan chicken is renowned as one of Guangdong's 8 finest breeds, and usually weigh in around 2.5 to 3 kilograms. To 1,500 meters above sea level are also raised in these high hills and mountains, capable of living at altitudes from 8. Apart from Yangshan chickens, other chicken lies in the bird's living conditions. The stark contrast between free-range and caged chicken basking in the sun and foraging for food. Free-range chickens spend their lives roaming open hills, usually only around 100 to 120 eggs a year, a natural existence that promotes their physical and mental well-being. However, they don't produce many eggs, and they are also smaller in size, weighing around 40 to 45 grams each. The more active chickens also produce a more flavorful, but all of their eggs are tastier, higher level of omega-3 fatty acids, vitamins, and minerals, and firmer meat that turns bright yellow when cooked, is around 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit hatchery or breeding farm. The ideal temperature for incubation mountain chicken farming begins with high-quality eggs from a The journey in large-scale hatching operations, such as this one in Mingshui County, with humidity levels ranging from 55 to 70%. It takes around 21 days for the chicks to hatch. Heilongjiang Province, China, up to 4,000 chicks are hatched yearly. Used to only hatch 70,000 chicks just 5 years ago. Once hatched, you see, the demand truly increased because this typically transferred to brooder pens, normally located in a windproof and well-ventilated sheltered area, to 10 centimeters of disinfected chaff or straw in order to provide insulation and warmth. Before welcoming the newborn chicks, farmers line the pens with so continuous lighting will keep them warm enough to eat and drink. During the first 2 to 3 weeks, chicks are unable to regulate their body temperature effectively. The pen measures around 3 square meters and will fit 100 chicks. Wash their troughs twice a day and also give them medicine. Farmers will offer them clean, lukewarm water mixed with electrolyte supplements and 6 to 8 small meals per day. The chicks are still very weak, so farmers will keep everything clean as prescribed by veterinarians in order to get them used to the food on the mountain. On a favorable day, the chickens are, as chicks grow, organic food sources such as greens and forage are also provided to build an online customer base in order to increase sales. The hills where the chickens roam are dotted with trees onto the hills early in the morning, where they spend almost all of their day. Farmers follow and livestock their surroundings and are fed outdoors like this. The diet of free-range chickens is as to play and even catch insects, providing ample shade and opportunity for the birds to perch. In the summer, farmers hardly feed because there is so many grasshoppers around. By feeding them behind a moving car like some farmers get creative and encourage their chickens to run. Studies from Our World in Data compared to their caged counterparts have shown that free-range chickens it's 57 to 70% less pain and suffering. The EU plans to ban the use of any cage by 2027. Recognizing the benefits of free-range practice. To encourage egg laying, farmers construct simple nets in the mountainous regions of Xinjiang in northern China, laying their eggs in approximately 30 chicken barns using bamboo, wood, or leaves. Over 50,000 chickens roam across 200 hectares of hills, built right there on the mountain tops. Their barns and sleeping areas are often designed like this, while most chickens prefer to lay their eggs on the nest to save space and mimic the mountainous terrain. Diligently check the barns and roaming areas to ensure no eggs are missed. A few may choose to lay them under trees or just right here on the ground like this to collect the eggs one by one, 2 times a day. Farmers with around 7,000 chickens, in order to provide jobs for the locals in rural areas, can yield up to 9,400 eggs each day. Despite their large numbers, manual labor remains high. They are only lightly cleaned. Workers carefully place the eggs into cardboard or plastic trays, inspection and sorting process to preserve the natural protective layer on the eggshell, ensuring that they are well protected during transportation. Once collected, the eggs undergo a These trays are then loaded onto trucks and delivered to local markets, and pre-ordered customers often have their own on-site packing facility. Large-scale free-range egg producers are willing to pay a premium price, typically 3 to 4 from all the nearby farms. These fresh, high-quality eggs, capable of packaging up to 74,000 eggs, are then distributed to the supermarkets and retail outlets, where can cost as little as $1.25 to $2 per dozen. When weather conditions are unfavorable, such as extreme heat or cold, the chickens are brought indoors per dozen, cage eggs, and interact with each other. A typical free-range chicken barn, while indoors, large barns still provide to ensure their comfort and well-being is maintained, with enough room to stretch their legs, perch on platforms, combining locally grown ingredients from their hills with feed pellets, can comfortably house around 600 chickens. And of course, regular clean water is a must for these active chickens. Some farmers prepare fresh feed daily to minimize the risk of predation. However, in some cases, natural predators such as the location of free-range farms is carefully chosen, and foxes may pose a threat. To protect their chickens, farmers remove bushes, and they also build sturdy fences and regularly check the areas for signs of predator activity, potential hiding places around the barn. And if predators are caught, they will be and 2.4 kilograms, while lighter than their caged raised counterpart or eaten. The exact weight at harvest varies depending on the breed, but free-range chickens typically weigh between 1. Chickens are selectively caught on the hills and transported. Chickens are harvested in batches and transported to slaughterhouse. In large-scale operations on this farm, free-range chickens have more muscle mass and less fat. Chickens are stunned either using gas or electrified water baths to render them unconscious. These facilities ensure a smooth and timely operation. The facilities on cool days to minimize stress and heat shock, with a capacity to process up to 15,000 chickens per hour, loosens their feathers, which are then removed at around 55 degrees Celsius, automated feather removal machine. The legs and internal organs. The chickens are then bled, passed through a hot water bath. The carcasses undergo multiple washing stages to ensure thorough cleaning and scenting. Many processing plants offer whole chickens are then removed and packaged separately. For those who prefer convenience, chickens can also be packaged with their internal organs. These whole chickens are typically into various parts and packaged in trays at around $9.23 per kilogram. Black ash cheese, Humboldt fog and yogurt with a quick and easy way to prepare chicken meals. These pre-cut portions offer 5 probiotics. These are all world famous, and although goat meat is twice as expensive as beef and goat milk products, creamy and easy to digest, goat milk has long been made into many specialties of this country, tripled in just 2 decades. This is simply because it's delicious but super low-fat. Though the US is the other meats in the typical American diet, demand for goat meat in the US has, and today their range is expanding at twice the importer of goats. Making a profit from goat farming here isn't easy. Many livestock were killed by coyotes in the past, of other carnivores in North America. And how do they raise more than 2.5? So how do American farmers solve this problem in goats to meet this booming market? But not all goats are like that. If you've ever visited a goat farm, you might be impressed how friendly they are, like little dogs, rather aggressive and domineering. Except in the fall from late August to early male goats, or bucks, so farmers usually separate them from the herd pregnant for about 5 months. Female goats, or nannies, when their pelvic ligaments loosen up, farmers know they are about to go into active January, the goat breeding season, and mama goat can finally relax. Goats have a high twinning rate, but according to studies, with the farmer's dedicated care, the newborn baby, the average mortality rate for kids is 10 to 18%. The risk of death for nannies is also high. A few hours after giving birth, an antibody-rich colostrum, which nannies secretes only in the first 36 hours after birth, is an essential nutrient to reduce this rate, meaning blood poisoning and even death completely. Otherwise, it can cause septicemia. Must ensure that the placenta has been delivered. After about 8 weeks of bottle feeding, the kids are castrated to breeding. Now, they gain at least about 0.3 pounds per day, but breast milk can no longer provide enough nutrients for this growth rate. So farmers have to take them out to pasture, are crossbred to produce more milk. So their diet also requires more grains to provide enough energy. Unlike in the past, modern dairy goat nannies can wean them protein and calcium. Just like other dairy animals, their milk flavor is what they eat. That's why Redwood Hill Farm in California, the first US goat dairy to be humane certified, grows its own for over 300 dairy goats, hormones for the past 56 years. This has helped them preserve the delicious milk flavor, which is free from antibiotics and harm. Besides Redwood Hill Farm, there is also Cypress Grove in the United States. And so, California has the most goat farms with a herd of up to 1,400 dairy goats. The first thing other farms usually with this large number of goats. Traditional hand milking is impossible. They have switched to a modern milking system called pit parlor. But at this farm, they play jazz music is disinfect the goat's udders with iodine. They've tried different types of music, but this is the only type that the goats enjoy and don't startle when they're milked. This soft milking tube gently squeezes and releases, similar to how baby goats suckle. Each year, this farm harvests about 6,000 gallons of goat milk, and may not even realize they are being milked. The milking process only takes a few minutes while they are nibbling on footed to Cypress Grove's renowned creamery for tea. Over the past 4 decades, the freshly harvested milk is then cooled and tons of cheese have been produced here and shipped across the country. But Humboldt Fog stands out in the international cheese as America's first soft-ripened cheese. Goats were first domesticated in the Fertile Crescent about 11,000 years ago by Spanish and English explorers. They are very good at adapting to terrains and climates with their browsing, but it wasn't until the 17th century that they were brought to America. Therefore, traditional American. This means they prefer to eat. Often apply this multi-species grazing plants over short ones, unlike other long-standing farms, such as white oak, to both save feed costs and improve day. It is still practiced by many large of the pasture. This also helps reduce the risk of worm infestation in goats. Herd like this, farmers have to rotate pastures every 3 days because they eat so quickly. In Georgia, they often target kids or even lone adults. You know, goats have very good eyesight, so they can go outside at night on their own. But this is also when coyotes go hunting. But this freedom also comes with a major risk. Coyotes carefully install when raising goats, separated from the herd. Hence, adequate fencing is always the first thing US. But as the number of goats killed by coyote increases, the goats themselves become the escape from pens. Makers. They are intelligent animals and constantly learn how to break fences. Stop them. Many US farmers have started goats a mild shock, only from 5 to 9 volts, which serves more as a silent electric fencing. This is a deterrent than physical harm, aiming for sustainability. Solar panels have helped reduce costs on large. While this may increase the electricity, besides daily work, farmers also have to do many other jobs on the roofs regularly so they don't get sore feet, such as building shelters from the rain to ensure the best development of the goat herd so they don't get sick. Rot. But that's not all. US goat farmers still have to do a rather controversial found in one night on this farm, which is hunting coyotes. And more than 67 coyotes. In 2015, 83,000, according to National Geographic, the total goats that died that year died under the sharp teeth and lightning-fast reflexes of coyotes. This number accounts for a whopping 65% and also gradually heading toward the western US, but still can't control their numbers. Kills over 476,000 coyotes each year. This animal is thriving in 49 out of 50 states. Anatolian shepherds or Great Pyrenees are also professionally trained by farmers to protect the farm. They do this job very well. So in addition to hunting guard dogs, many farms also keep donkeys because they are naturally alert, know how to defend themselves when in danger, loyal to the goat herd. Here, goats grow up healthy. When they are about 8 to 9 months, these protective measures have ensured that these and weigh 60 to 80 pounds, they will be sent to a humane slaughter. After removing organs and cleaning, the carcasses are herring methods to improve carcass hygiene. Some processing plants may use scalding, stunned, and quickly bled to minimize stress. Then they are chilled to prevent bacterial growth, packaged and distributed to the market and inspected based on fat and muscle content. Finally, they can be cut into pieces. $128 million. 22, the US exported consumers in $7 million of goat meat, mainly from Australia. Therefore, there is still a great demand for goat meat in the country. The US has developed sustainably over the years, and that's how the goat farming industry